What is up, the YouTubes? My name's Alan, aka NeoCryptor, and welcome back to another episode of Starmade. So, between episodes, I got some mining done and got a little bit of work done on the base, and it's still nothing too special, but there's been progress, which is a good thing. So, yeah, let's take a look and see what we've got done so far. And if I turn around, boom! Oh yes, and then there's that ship over there. I'll explain that in a little bit, but it's all put together out of the starting blocks you get, plus a little bit of cash. So let's go ahead and zoom back into first person, like so, and head over there. So how are you guys doing? I hope you're having a great day. So far, my day is turning out pretty good. If you saw the little clip I released a little bit earlier, you might know what we're working on today. I am going to start working on putting together some drones, because mining is tedious. Mining takes a while. Even with something that's as cool as this ship, it still takes a while to gather all the resources, because that is a mining ship, salvager ship, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so let's jump over here and I'll kind of give you the 10-set tour. Over here we have a cargo area that holds all of the ores and blocks and everything else. Back there we have our power grid. I need to still do some work to that. There's no aesthetics, it's just a power grid. Calling it good there, right? Right. And then of course, lamppost. What base is not complete without a lamppost? If we go in here, we just have kind of the main structure, nothing special to it, just the structure with some glass windows. I moved all the factories and whatnot in here. I put down a build block so I can build a little bit easier. And then these are factory enhancers. Basically, here, let's hop into build mode. Oh, and then of course the docking area out there. But let's hop into build mode here, boop, so we can show you exactly what is going on. So what these things do, for each one of these that is linked to a factory, it increases the output of the factory by that many. So say I have one of these hooked up to my capsule refinery, and instead of producing one resource at every tick, it's going to produce two. So the way this works is, you go up to whatever block in build mode, or you can actually do it just wandering around too, though I highly recommend doing it in build mode. It's a lot easier. And you hit C to enter connection mode, and you can see everything is connected. So right here, there is 10 of these connected to the capsule refinery. So every time the capsule refinery ticks over, it's going to make 11 of the, or sorry, not 10, 20. So it's going to make 21 resources. And if you go through here, you can see I've got them all connected up, and I still need a bunch more of these, because I'd like to be able to produce about 100 blocks at a time. So this row is kind of short. I need to get around to that. Also, you might notice that this storage thing is lighting up too, because the way I have it set up, I have all of these linked to the storage. So whenever I click a recipe, as long as I have the resources in the storage, it's going to pull from the storage and automatically start making that block. Inversely, I also have the storage linked to all these, so it'll automatically pull whatever's in the inventory of these factories into the storage. And if we go out here, we can see all of this. Basically, these little storage upgrades as the storage, it increases the capacity of the storage block. And as they fill up, they start appearing and scaling up in size till they're the size of a full block. Until then, they're completely invisible, and you can't collide with them. They're non-physical. So pretty handy that. Let's see. What else do I want to show you while we're in build mode? Let's go out here. Take a look at this little gantry I made up. It's just docking area. That way, if pirates do follow us back here, I can dock up the ship and they're not going to be able to blow it up, because, well, it's docked to our faction base and they are indestructible. This thing is called the Hyena. I got it off of the Stardock, which is a website that has a whole bunch of blueprints and such. This is a starting ship. Literally, you can make this between the starting credits you get and the starting blocks they give you. It lets you can produce the blueprint. And the way blueprints work is, I actually have one in my inventory here, so let us go in here and move it for one. back up in here because I don't like having blueprints on my bar. But basically, you can go in here and it'll tell you every component you need to build, said ship. And you can either, excuse me, apologize for that. Anyway, as long as you have all of these components, you can click Add All, and it'll add everything you have. Or if you don't have all of them, it'll add what you do have, or you can go through and add them individually. It tells you the quantities you need over here in this column, and basically after you've got this all filled in, you can hit spawn and it will create the ship for you. Pretty handy, pretty neat little system. It works out pretty well. So this thing is equipped with a few lasers, some shields. I slapped a warp drive on it, and I think that's all I actually did to modify it. Up here it had it had a docking port up here on the top, which honestly I did not like. I've kind of tore it down, and I'm going to be working on some logic here later with it. I moved the rail docker to the front of the ship, so it connects up right there. And of course this has storage and everything like that. So yeah, pretty good, pretty cool to go. Pretty cool to go. That's a weird word, weird terminology. All right, so let's get out of build mode here. I am going to go ahead and drop these resources I have on me into here. Now if we go over here to the capsule refiner, as you can see, it's starting to chug away and create things. So yeah, having everything linked up like that is very useful, though when wanting to make a specific amount of blocks, you can't just drag the correct quantity of whatever it is you need for materials to make those blocks. You kind of have to babysit it, but all in all, that's not really that big of a deal in my eyes. All right, guys, so today we are going to start working on making some mining drones, because as I said, mining is kind of tedious, and with the amount of resource gathering I have to do in between episodes, it is quite the grind, at least right now at the beginning. So to alleviate that, Starmade has a really cool AI system for setting up fleets and drones, and we are going to play with that today. To do that, we are going to jump into creative mode and throw together some stuff, and I will this is kind of like a let's play and a tutorial all mixed into one. I'm going to show you how to set this up for yourself and kind of explain what I'm doing step by step. So without any further ado, I will meet you guys over in the creative world that I have set up. All right, sounds good. Okay, we're back, and I've got that sorted out. So now let's hop in our good old ship here and open up our creative mode inventory. So much better. And drag some of the basic systems we are going to need down to the bar. When I'm creating a ship or a drone, I like to think about what its purpose is and what we need to do. So obviously this is a little salvager drone. It doesn't need to be anything special, but obviously we're going to need some salvage. We are going to need some power overwhelming. So grab one of those and drop it on the bar. We are going to need just a little touch, just a squeet, whatever that is, of thrust. And really, that is the basic systems right there. We have salvage drones, we have power, we have thrust. Oh, one important thing, since this is going to be a drone, we need a Bobby AI. So let's grab our Bobby AI, drop it down. And beyond that, what else do we want for pleasantries and extras? Well, I want some to experiment, because with some of the add-ons you can do or upgrades you can do to your weapon systems and salvage drones, one thing that just kind of seems interesting is adding a missile computer to it, because it doesn't have the effect you would think. It makes the lasers act more like a shotgun, which is kind of cool. At least I think it's kind of cool. All right, so we have that. What else do we need? Some cargo storage would be nice, right? Okay, so let's drop that down there. We're also going to need a way to dock, so we're going to need a rail docker. I bought a big, is that, I think, oh, faction module. We did faction module. right there. And that should be everything we need to get this little bugger going. So let's start out with giving it a little bit of power. I'm not going to give it a whole lot. We're just going to give it some, like 2. Because honestly, since it's a drone, it doesn't need a whole lot. Okay, so we have a little bit of power. Don't really need to go too extravagant with the power, so we're just going to do that. And then let's go ahead and slap. Oh, am I making this backwards? By gosh, I am. Okay, so that's counterproductive. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. We'll put our Bobby AI unit right there. And let's go ahead and slap our power back on. Just going to do 3. We're going to do, just something like that. And then let us throw the salvage computer on here, like so. We're going to go ahead and throw down a couple of these guys, like so. And then we're going to, on top of that, throw down this guy, like so. And then we need to go into connection mode and hook those up to be slave to each other. And then just throw a couple of these guys down, which that should... There we go. Connect those up like so. And let's see. Actually, we don't need to do that because that should work out just peachy keen fine right there. So yeah, that should do the trick. So over here, let us throw down a storage box. And I kind of personally like to have these at the rear of the ship. And then let's throw down some of these little storage thingies I was talking about. Like that. They're not leaked though, so let's go ahead and hit Shift V, connect them. Honestly, for a drone, that is probably more than enough cargo capacity right there. We are going to go ahead and just fill it in. We are going to slap down a faction module there. And now let's give this bugger a little bit of thrust. Like so. Doesn't need a whole lot. After all, it's, again, just a little drone. And then down here, we're going to put our rail docker. So right here, I'm holding control to bring up the advanced menu. And then I'm just using the mouse to mouse over where I want to put the block. And then using the scroll wheel to change its orientation. And right there looks good. And we want like that. So, okay. So this guy, right now, as it stands, should work. As a matter of fact, why don't we go ahead and enter our faction in here. Oh, we don't have a faction. So it doesn't matter. And I'll have to take care of that. Let's find a rock here. There should be some rocks. Yeah, there's one over there. Nope, that was... Yeah, there we go. There's some rocks. Let's go hit a rock and take a look and see how this works out. Okay. So this little guy is fairly maneuverable. I mean, we haven't added any armor to him, which we will be doing that. That rock is closer, so we're going to stop and going to go and blast it. Oh, check that out. That is funky looking. That is really funky looking. I'm not sure how this is going to work with the drone, but it's going to be pretty interesting to try it out, I think. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty cool. At the very least, it's got to look neat when we're mining. So that's the thing. That's cool. I have a shotgun pattern laser. I'm a firing my shotgun laser. Woohoo! Alright, so let us go back to platform 1, which is over here. and then we'll set up the rest of this. It's actually not too difficult. This is where we get into a little bit of the logical side, or logic side of things, to be able to dock these guys and launch them. So let us get a little bit closer here. Come on, here the platform, here boy. Where did you go, Plate? All right, and we are just going to pull this guy up here and park it and call it good. Good little drone. Did you not pick up anything? You had to have picked up something, didn't you? Yeah, you picked up a little bit. Cool. Okay. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to reorient this guy because it is too dark. I'm just saying, too dark. So let us go womp. There we go. Should be good. Can we see what we're doing? Yes, we can. Okay, so now let's work on the logic side of things. So we need to clear our bar here. Or just, you know, leave it as it is. I'm good with that. Are you good with that? I'm good with that because we can just drag over it. So we're going to need some rails. We are going to need some specialty rails, which I will explain. We are going to need some button stuffs, some logic stuffs, and some remote button stuffs, so we can control the launching sequence from the cockpit. Okay, so first thing we want to do is figure out where we want this guy to dock. Personally, I say he can dock, well, let me go into build mode. Makes life a little easier. All right, so I think he can dock right over here, which I am good with that. So we want to get a rail docker, and then we want to orient it. Yeah, we want to make it go the direction that we want it to go. So right there. So these arrows point to the forward or the front of the block, so obviously. All right, so we got that. Now the next thing we need to do is lay down some of these special little paths. What these guys do is dictate kind of a little flight path for docking procedure. Now the trick to these is you want them to be very accessible because drones are not very smart. So you want to have them out as far as you can, and if you have multiple drones docking in a tight formation, you probably want to vary them up a bit and variable lengths and or directions. So okay, next thing we want to do is we want to slap on one of these guys. This is a pickup point. Whenever a rail docker comes within 3 blocks of this, it's automatically going to dock right here. The drone will start moving down this path up to this point right here. Actually, now I want to change that. I'll explain why in a minute. Let's go ahead and get changed up here. We want to change it to that way. And then I'm going to place a copy of that right here. And then I am going to also put one in a straight position right here. Again, I will explain that in a moment. Next, we want to slap down a couple of these guys. What these do is they're kind of think of the acceleration rails from Minecraft. Whenever something hits this, it's going to pick up speed, accelerate, and be thrown out into space. So it makes the drone get clear a little bit. Okay, so what we have here is we have a track for it to come down. Basically, it's going to come up to this point, and it's going to stop. Because once it hits this block, it can't go anywhere. So to launch, what we need to do is rotate this block so it's facing this way. And then as soon as it rotates, it's going to go zoop and be shot out into space, which is what we have these for. And you know what? I am going to spread these out a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. Now, this is going to be a little bit clunky, just a little bit, because I'm spreading it out. You can make this obviously quite more compact than the way I'm going to be doing it. So we want to put an activation module next to each one of these, right? Okay. And then we want to set out a flip-flop, which is basically it does just what you think it does. It is a flip-flop. And then we want a not gate. Where is my not? Not. Excuse me. then we want to have another coughing fit, obviously. We want to have another button here, like so. All right, so you're going, okay, you're just laying out a bunch of buttons. Right now, they don't do anything, as you can see here. I can hit the button, nothing happens. But say I want to link this to this, and then I can link this one to this like so. If I click this button, the rail changes direction. And if I click this button, it changes back. Pretty handy, right? Okay, so the next thing we knew is we need to link, come out of link mode. We need to link this to this. Whoops, I did it wrong. V, C, V, link those two to each other like such. And then we link both of these to the flip-flop. And then we link this button to the flip-flop. I think that's how that's going to work. Let's check here. Alright, so that's not quite working right. I set this up last night. I've not worked with this logic system before at all. So it's a little bit on the new side to me. Alright, so let me tell you what, let me cut right here, figure out what I'm doing, and then I'll be right back and explain it. Took me a second to figure out or remember what I did last night. Okay, so alright, as you saw, we have both of these hooked up to here. And now these lines are like conduits. Think of them as actually like redstone or something running between things. So if we select this one, we can see it's just hooked up here. We select this one, it's just hooked up there. Well, the flip-flop is just hooked up to the not signal right there, right? So we look at the not, it is hooked up to this one, just this one. So basically, when this connects, it's going to flip-flop these. This one's going to activate, and so it's going to send this, turn this straight, so it shoots out, and then as soon as it flip-flops, it's going to flip-flop back and reactivate this rail. So observe, boop, like that. Now there is a way to do this using timers, so you can have that activate a little bit longer, but I think this should work, and it will ultimately make this a lot more of a compact logic circuit. Excuse me. So the only thing left we have to do now to get this to work is, well, let me make sure I'm grabbing the right block here. Actually, it's over here. Inner ship remote, right there. So if we grab that, let's go ahead and just slap that thing down right there. So now that, let's go name this launch. So basically, this is all hooked up, so, whoops. It should just work just like the others. Let's turn, whoop. Actually, I think I need to go to connection mode and go ahead and connect it up to this one as well. So, now. Okay, so now it's requiring a little bit of a double click, it seems. Let me redo this real quick, because I think I goofed it up somewhere. There we go. Now it's working right again. So that should do it. We'll test that. Okay, so our logic circuit theoretically is complete. The inner ship remote bit I'm still a little fuzzy on working with. I mean, this is the first time I've ever worked with any of Starbound's logic systems because, well, that wasn't in the last time I played. So pretty cool. All right, so we've got this set up. How do we get the drone to automatically dock? Well, pretty easy actually. Where did our little drone go? There it is. So let's fly back over here, get in the drone, like so, come out of that, and then we need to select the rail docker, and as you can see there, that little spot that we set up for the pickup area has shown up. So now we just fly toward it, and boom. As you can see, the drone is automatically moving into position. Neat. Alright, so we need to hop back in here. Let's go into build mode so we can see what is going on. Let's open up this, create a new fleet. We're just going to call it my fleet. We're going to add a member. We're going to select it, and then we're going to add a member. Okay, we need to launch this drone, I guess, first. So let us just launch you out and test. Boom, and away it goes. Cool. Okay, my fleet. Add member. We're going to add this guy. Now, we're going to order him back. Carrier recall. To access that menu, you hit K. Now, these guys are a little bit derpy, so it won't surprise me if... oh, you know what? I forgot to add the ship we're in. Derp. Hi, my name's Neo, and I forget things all the time. Hold on. Add member, platform 1. We are the mothership. So now we need to make sure your mothership is always in the first slot. There we go. Now, if we order carrier recall, this little drone should make its way back to us. And bam! Ram right into us because it is a boss. But as you can see, it is docking on its own. Pretty neat, pretty cool. Alright, so let us go into our actual control mode, and let's drag launch to our bar and see what happens when we toggle it. Okay, so that is so that's not working. We will have to fix that. So tell you what, I'm gonna cut right here and be right back and sort that out, and then I'll show you how this whole shebang is going to work. Okay guys, I got it sorted. Basically, all we need to do is take the inner ship remote and run it straight into our button here, our activation signal, to get everything going. So now, if we go back into here, you do have to click it twice. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but so we clicked it once, so we click it again, and away our drone goes. And now, let's go ahead and order him back. Carrier recall. Ricola. I find if you go down, makes it where they can dock without colliding into you. A lot easier. But of course, that's going to be dependent on how you have your rail set up. Okay, so we are almost done. Almost done. What we want to do now is some tricky bits. So, you know, our little guy, actually, you know what? Let's go mine. Let's go test. Let's find a rock here. Rock. Good old rock. Nothing beats rock, right? So let's take our platform and head over here to this asteroid. And set this guy out to mine. Let him do his thing. I'll show you how that works. And that should be inaudible and unrecognizable what I said, because I have no idea what it was myself. That should be close enough. So let's go ahead and launch him. Boom, the way he goes. We're going to order, and we're going to hit mine this sector. And now he should go out and find to that rock and start blasting away at it. Yeah, that rock is a little bit further away than I thought it was, isn't it? Let's get a little bit closer. Hey, you seem to be going kind of slow there, pal. Find the sector. Are you really just that slow? Seriously? For real? Oh, you know what? I bet anything. Let us go ahead and do this. Carrier recall. I think I know what is going on here. Dong! Alright. So, let us slap a faction module down on this and create a faction real quick, because I think that it would be the culprit on what is screwing everything up right now. So let's go ahead and just slap that there. We're going to enter. Oh, you have to be the owner. I am the owner. Faction. Create faction. And we're going to name this microphone falling over. No, that's not the name we're going to name it, but that's what just happened. I really need to get a microphone boom. Just saying. So we're going to name this. That is a real name. I think it is a mixture of Gaelic, Swahili, and German. Or something like that. Maybe a little Portuguese thrown in. I don't know. But we're going to call it. So this is the faction. Okay. And that's all we're going to do. Now, let us go over to this guy. Oh, actually, we need to enter faction signature. Blamp. And now let's go over here. Enter faction signature. Blamp. And now this theoretically should work out just fine. Let's go ahead and launch this guy again. And now we are going to order him to mine this sector. Did I forget to put the Bobby AI unit on? No, because it's... What is going on here? This was working peachy last night. I'm joking. Okay. Alright, rank 2. Yeah, that looks good. Mine this sector. Do I have my orders idle formation? Let's pull you back. Maybe I have the cannons hooked up backwards, so it's actually being a defense mechanism. Let's take a look at that real quick. Like I said, there are some hitches here. I am by far not a pro at this because it is this stuff was not in the game last time I played. So let's see here. That should be okay. So that looks right. Yeah. And those are hooked up there. Do I need to slave these off? No. What about, do I need to do that? So let's just unlink that and see what happens for the moment. Okay, so now we should have missiles and salvagers, which is never technically a bad thing, because now we can also have these guys defend if we need to. Yeah, it's a thing. Okay. Okay, so let's get out. Let's get over here and let's order this guy to mine the sector. Now he's off and running. Okay, so it was the way I had those. I thought he was off and running. Alright, guys. We're back. And, alright, we're back. Now the OBS is done doing his thing. And I've got it working. It was just the fact that the starting sector is protected and it wouldn't let me do the mining thing there. So we changed sectors. Everything is working just planned in. We had a pirate show up. So since I have those missiles, I set it to sentry mode. As you can see, he is now whomping on that pirate. And that pirate can't fight back. That was my first prototype drone from last night. So it has no weapons on it at all. So it's just going to kind of look at this guy like he's stupid. And eventually, that thing will get destroyed. So, but if we tell it to return, so let's go ahead and do a carrier recall. It's going to come back, and this guy's going to come too, because he's very interested in us. See, hi, this was our little guy from last night. Meet Derpy Drone, because that's his name, Derpy Drone. He's harmless, so I'm not worried about him. Let's go ahead and get a little bit closer to this. Now let's launch our guy and order him to mine this sector. And now he's going to do his thing. He's going to get in position, and there he goes. He is mining the asteroid for us. Now he's not very strong, so he doesn't get a whole bunch of stuff all at once, which isn't that big of a deal because we are planning on having a bunch of these guys, right? So at least that is the thought. So what we need to do now is let him mine for a minute, just so he gets some stuff in his inventory. And then we're going to go ahead and tell him to return and set up the second part of this. So let's go ahead and carrier recall. And let's start moving down, because like I said, that seems to work out pretty good for docking these guys the way I have this set up. Now, okay. So now if we go over here, I don't think we can access this guy's inventory. No, because he's not technically part of the ship, which, you know, whatever. But if we fly over here and look, he should have a little bit of stuff in there, which he does. Pretty cool, right? So we want to deactivate this storage auto pull, and I'll show you why in a second. Not enough to actually, he didn't have enough stuff to actually activate the cargo stuff, which is fine. Don't really care. So next thing we need to do is we need to, whoops, grab the cargo stuff back out. Cargo. Like so. And we want to throw down a cargo, well, let's get in here. Go into build mode. Okay. So we want to throw down a cargo widget mabob right there. And then just throw down some of this stuff like so. Actually, there we go. We'll give it a little bit of cargo space, nothing too grand, because, well, we're not going to be mining that much since we're just doing a tutorial. Because in between episodes, I'm going to start working on building a proper drone barge to carry these little guys in, and probably some, you know, aesthetic changes. But this is our basic drone block. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it so far. All right, so what did I do that for? Okay, now if we go over here and we select our rail docker that's part of the mothership, we can put it in connection mode and then go over here to that and connect it. Right? Pretty cool, pretty straightforward. And then we go into here and set change items to auto pull. We're going to add all, and we're just going to type in 9999999 and call it good. So now, when that tick rolls over, it should grab all the stuff. Maybe not. Okay, so maybe I do need to set it up over here too. So I need to link the auto docker, or the docking rail that's on here to the storage. So let's set you in connection mode, set you there like that, and now it should pull everything out. Boom, as we just saw. Cool, right? Oop. Okay, let's hop out, go over here, and now if we look in here, we should have stuff and things. Check it out. There is stuff and things. Awesome. So now we have set up a complete automated mining system, albeit very slow because there's only a single drone, that will go out, harvest crop, harvest rock and ore and stuff, bring it back, and automatically pull it from the drone's inventory into the mothership's inventory. Pretty cool. So also, like at our base, if we set up something, you know, we could set this up so when we dock the mothership, it'll automatically pull all the resources the drones have gathered and start refining them. All right, guys, I think that really about covers it for this. We didn't get a lot of aesthetic building done, but you know what? I'm not too concerned with that because we got a working drone that is multi-purpose. It has missiles, so it can defend itself, and it can mine. I mean, hey, I think we did pretty good. It runs out, it connects, it can mine, it does whatever you want it to do, and then you can have it return and dock up. The docking system seems to be working great. If you guys have any question over this logic circuit that we have set up here, and like I said, this can be a lot more compact than it is right now. I just spread it out so you could kind of easily see what is going on. But if you guys have any questions over the way any of this works, actually, let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, I think that really wraps up this episode. So next time we should theoretically have a little drone boat built and be able to go out and do some mining. And you know, since I'm going to put some weapons on these guys, we might go explore it and see about maybe finding a pirate base and, you know, destroying it. Because I don't like pirates in my space. And this is my space. Well, no, not my space, because that's really old social media stuff. But this is my sector. Yeah, there we go. My sector, not the pirate sector. All right, guys. Till next time, this is Neo, and I'll see you in game.